back with shelf number 10. We are into the Criterion, got a couple left of those, and then into the horror section. So to start off, we have Repo Man.
I love it. That's a good movie. That's really weird, but good.
The game?
The game. That's the first Criterion we ever bought. We got it off Amazon for $6. It's not a lot of people consider it not a great movie. I thought it was pretty good.
The Uninvited.
Got that for two reasons. A, it was cheap. And B, haunted house movie in black and white.
Mm-hmm. We got Wormwood, Road of the Dead.
Mad Max meets Dawn of the Dead is actually a decent description. I mean, it's a zombie movie that takes place on the road. It's not bad, though. I enjoyed it.
Dawn of the Dead.
Classic.
Dawn of the Dead.
Remake. Not as good as the original, but still actually a good movie.
Day of the Dead.
Scream Factory, Day of the Dead.
And Day of the Dead.
Absolutely god-awful remake of Day of the Dead. I don't know what to say about it. It's not even this. It's not really even the same movie.
Diary of the Dead.
George Romero's found footage film. It was okay.
Land of the Dead.
I liked Land of the Dead. A lot of people didn't. It wasn't as, great as his other zombie movies, but I thought it was fun. But it also came before Diary of the Dead, so maybe that one should go the other way.
Alrighty. Then we got The Dead.
I haven't watched it yet.
Dead Season and State of Emergency.
I've watched Dead Season. It's low budget, but it's pretty decent enough.
Disaster LA.
Nope, never seen it.
Planet Terror.
Love Planet Terror.
This is a good one.
Robert Rodriguez's contribution to Grindhouse. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. And the zombies were gooey.
Yeah, they were gooey.
And,
that was kind of gross.
Right, but it's the same technique that Quentin Tarantino used in Django Unchained for the big shootout at the plantation. Everybody was gooey like those zombies.
Mm-hmm.
So, fun movie, though.
Return of the Living Dead.
I love Return of the Living Dead. This is where zombies started saying brains.
Brains.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was fun. Great soundtrack. If you can find the original soundtrack, this movie does have the original. So, moving on. If you can't tell, we're definitely in the zombie section.
We got 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later.
And
That's
we have
Bella.
Cat. Oops, sorry. Cat problems. I've seen 28 Days Later. It's a great movie. I've not seen 28 Weeks Later, which I think actually has Jeremy Renner in it.
Alrighty, we got Resident Evil, Mila Jovovich.
And Michelle Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
very decent kind of a action thriller sort of thing.
Yeah. It wasn't like the video. I mean, it was set in a mansion and it had zombies in it, but it wasn't really like the game. But it was still a good movie.
And then we have Resident Evil Apocalypse.
Set in Raccoon City. Tried to introduce more characters from the game, but still wasn't the game, It can never be Resident Evil.
Yeah, and I think this is where they embrace that Resident Evil Extinction.
Mm-hmm. I actually really enjoyed this one. It had a good post-apocalyptic feeling to it.
Mm-hmm.
All the sand.
Because the world had died.
Yeah, the zombified crows.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome.
Which they did not keep that in the next one, Afterlife.
I really liked Afterlife, set in the prison.
Yeah, it was a really good one. But the idea that the world had died and everything was sand, and then this next one, they kind of forgot that.
Well, that one was set in Nevada, the sand, with all the sand, in Las Vegas. That's where they went. This one is set in L.A. There's no sand in L.A. The city was burning, though. Mm-hmm. And the people were locked inside the prison with the zombies all around them.
And we got Retribution.
Which I don't really remember.
Is that the one where they...
I remember they ended up at the White House, surrounded by zombies and creatures, and Wesker was in the White House asking for Alice's help. Wesker's the bad guy.
Okay.
And they're making one more with Mila Jovovich, right? Mila
Jovovich.
Yeah. Making one more with her character, and then she's done. So,
And then we depart into animation. We got Resident Evil Degeneration.
It's weird. I haven't seen Damnation yet.
Resident Evil Damnation.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Then we got World War Z with Brad Pitt.
It's nothing like the book. At all. Nothing.
Yeah, they took the name and nothing else.
Yeah, the author.
Then we got Quarantine.
Which is a remake of Record, which is actually called Wreck, but it's Record. The trilogy of movies that I have on. I have 3 of them. I think there's a 4th one on DVD.
Then we got Zombie Diaries #2.
Never seen that one too. I bought a bunch of these cheap zombie movies all at one time and didn't really ever watch them yet.
Zombie Hunter with Danny Trejo.
For about 10 minutes. I mean, the idea of him being a axe-wielding, zombie-killing priest was awesome. But he gets beheaded in like the first 20 minutes.
Well, that's kind of sad.
They do. I mean, they had some nice ideas. It just didn't execute well on this movie.
Zombieland.
I love Zombieland. It's a great movie. It's fun. Double pack of Bruno Mattei's Hell of the Living Dead and Rats, Night of Terror. Now, Rats, Night of Terror doesn't seem like it should be in the zombie section, but it's totally based off Night of the Living Dead, the original George A. Romero classic. Really good, gory movie. Hell of the Living Dead, which I believe is also known as Creeping Flesh. I'm not sure. Is also very good. It's like what happens, how Dawn of the Dead happened. You know, that's pretty good. Downer endings on both of them. Thank you to oh God, what's his name? He directed Troll 2. Claudio Fragasso. Always loved his downer endings. Like Troll 2 is awful, and then you get to the end, and then it's just a complete downer ending of a movie. It's like, okay. We're good. Come on, say it. You know you want...
Poultrygeist. Night of the Chicken Dead.
Oh, this movie is so weird.
It's a trauma movie.
Yeah. Troma was in a lot of financial trouble after Tales from the Crapper failed. It was just went really bad, and it almost cost him everything. So Lloyd Kaufman and his wife put up part of their retirement savings to make this movie. And not only did it save the studio, it was their first critical success of a movie. It's got some terrible acting, but the idea, and it's a sing-along. There's musical sing-along parts, and it's gory as hell, like a trauma movie should be. It's fun. I really enjoyed it.
Well, and if you don't really want to watch the movie, but you just want to know about it, you should see the review done by
Diamanda Hagen with Ju Wario, who is no longer with us, which is a tragic loss. But they did
It was a great review.
Comedic review of this movie, and it was really fun. One of my personal favorites. I've watched it multiple times.
Yeah, and I like Diamanda Hagen.
Which is actually her real name. Thanks for making a lot of noise, cat.
Okay, we got the original Crazies.
George A. Romero's Crazies.
Then we have the Crazies remake.
Yep. Not as good as the original.
Didn't that one have Timothy Olyphant?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, that man is everywhere.
I had a lot of fun with this movie. I enjoyed it. It has good. There was too many last-minute saves for me, though. Like, they're about to get stabbed, and all of a sudden somebody saves them. And there's this scene in the hospital part, like where the guy was going to stab her, but they saved the wife anyway, and it's like, Jesus, too many. It happened all the time.
Yeah, and we got Dead in Tombstone. It's another Danny Trejo movie,
and he's actually in it.
Good.
If you actually want to see Mickey Rourke playing the devil, and he is totally just phoning it in, but he's having fun with it all at the same time. It's Danny Trejo being a badass in the Old West. Good movie. I had fun with it.
And then this one is Carrie.
It's got the art card.
The art card.
But this actually has Carrie on Blu-ray, a regular copy of Carrie, and then Carrie 2,
The Rage.
The Rage, and the remake that was on TV. So
there's actually 4 discs in there.
yeah.
And then we have the new Carrie remake with Chloe Grace Moretz.
Hit Girl.
Hit Girl.
Yep.
She's kind of been jumping all over the place lately.
That's just fine.
Well, she's getting to learn her acting abilities.
Yep.
Then we have The Lords of Salem.
Nice lenticular cover. This was, I believe this is Rob Zombie's latest directorial effort. This movie is insane. This is a half and half type movie. Don't do that. Don't make the cat squawk while we're filming. Anyway, 50-50. You either love this movie or you hate this movie. Would you stop that, please?
I'm petting the cat.
I noticed. Moving on.
Alright. Then we got VHS.
Yep. I haven't seen it yet, unfortunately. Picked it up at a pawn shop for like $3.
Okay. Then we have Rec 2.
Yeah, I got that in the horror pack in December. I have Rec 1, 2, and 3 on DVD. There is a 4th one, but I haven't picked that one up yet.
Mm-hmm. And then Personal Complaint. It is the only one that's upside down.
Yeah. Really bugs my OCD.
Now, if it didn't bug him so much, I'd flip it.
We could just flip the cover right over. Alright, moving on.
Alright, then we got Trick or Treat. Good old Sam.
Which I would call a modern classic. It's a really good movie. And unfortunately, it just sat on the shelf for like 2 or 3 years because they were punishing, I believe, the director for... Maybe it wasn't the director. For Superman Returns. This was his next movie after it, and he made it, and they just set it on the shelf because they blamed him for Superman Returns.
Anyway, it's got Anna Paquin in it. It's a
anthology
movie. It's 4 different stories set at the same time, and if you watch, you can see the other characters. It's
blended together quite well.
Very, very well.
And it was the birth of a new horror icon to me, is Sam.
Sam.
Little guy wearing a bag on his head.
And he carries a bag around.
Mm-hmm.
Don't piss off Halloween.
That's right.
Alright, then we got the original Psycho, the 50th anniversary edition.
Awesome movie.
Mm-hmm. We got Silence of the Lambs.
Which is a critically acclaimed cannibal movie. Which I like that if you think about it.
Does he actually eat anybody in this one?
He eats quite a few people in that movie. I know he ate... I think he ate 2. Okay, maybe he didn't eat quite a few people, but he ate a few people in that movie.
I'll have to watch it again.
He's quite brutal, too. Especially when he escapes and he kills the guards. Oh.
Yep. Then we have The Orphan.
Not a real great movie at all. But the twist was, different, that's for sure. It wasn't something kind of stupid. It was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't a great twist, but it was decent.
Then we have Spiral.
Starring David Joel Murray, Zachary Levi, and Amber
Tamblyn,
who I don't know. This was the movie that Adam Green and Joel David Moore did together after Hatchet. They co-directed this movie. I believe it was a project by Moore, and he asked Adam Green to help him, and he did. And this is the result. Adam Green, he becoming this new generation of horror movie director. It's funny because all he wanted to do was direct family films. I've heard nothing but...
You know what? Sometimes when you're good at something, you just do it.
I've heard nothing but great things from his last movie called Digging Up the Marrow. It's kind of the documentary style.
Okay. We got House at the End of the Street.
Jennifer Lawrence's horror movie that she did. I think everybody who wants to be a big actor, you have to do at least one horror movie. Kevin Bacon did it. Johnny Depp's done it. Jennifer Lawrence. Everybody has done them. Charlize Theron was in a Children of the Corn movie.
Mm-hmm.
So was Eva Mendes. So.
Yeah. I believe when they were promoting the movie, they had a website called, Hates. Tates.com or something.
Actually,
like
they sat on this movie after it was made and waited until what the hell, the Hunger Games came out and then released that movie. Smart idea, really.
But, well, they waited for basically Jennifer Lawrence to get a big name.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
They probably knew it was going to happen. We got Lost After Dark,
which is a great 80s throwback slasher movie. And the thing I loved about this movie is that all the rules about who's going to die and who's going to live, that type of thing, get thrown out the window. And people you don't expect to die fast. So, and it's pretty good. I mean, it's pretty gory and really good. And so, I enjoyed that one. Okay, why don't we hold up right here? Okay, so next up we have the Halloween movies. Halloween 1, John Carpenter. Halloween 2, also John Carpenter. Halloween 4.
And yes, we did skip number 3. We don't have it on Blu-ray.
Actually, we do.
Well, it's in the big collector's box set, not one of the individual copies.
Yeah. We have the Scream Factory Anchor Bay box set of Halloween.
Number 5.
Which is pretty close to the bottom of quality on the Halloween movies for me. Not my favorite.
See, I like 4 and 5 with Danielle Harris. It's a different take. It's bringing a child into it who she knows that something's wrong.
Skynet 4 is basically the retelling of 1, but moving on.
Kind of. Okay, then we got Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers.
This was actually made in the mid-90s when slasher movies and horror movies in general were at a really low point. I really enjoyed this movie because it's kind of like a times, just a slice of the 90s. There's the internet, but it's really crappy, stuff like that. And also, Paul Rudd is in this movie, so everybody plays their horror movie dues.
Mm-hmm.
So.
This is the one with the baby, right?
Yes, this is a baby one. Halloween 6, the producer's cut. This was on bootleg for a long, long time. And then when they released the box set, they released the big thing in it is they released the producer's cut. Well, they also released an individual copy of it. And I just happen to have it. Because I'm like that. I'm weird.
Mm-hmm. Halloween H2O. Basically, it goes 1, 2, forget the rest, and skip to this one.
Yep. The only thing I didn't like about this one is in the first one, Michael Myers seemed like a really big guy. Right? Because if you're supposed to remember, skip the rest of them in 1, 2, and this one, he shrunk. He was not very big. He didn't seem much bigger than Jamie Lee Curtis, if at all.
Well, I mean, is it supposed to be a perspective thing? She's not as scared?
No, like physically, he's smaller than her.
Well, I know, but...
Yeah, it just didn't work well. And this one's garbage. I mean, absolutely garbage. Jamie Lee Curtis is on the front, and she's in it for less than 5 minutes. So.
Okay, and then moving into the old ones.
The classics.
The classics. We got Bela Lugosi and Dracula.
I love Dracula. This also has the Spanish version that was made at the exact same time this movie was, and it's totally different. Bela Lugosi doesn't play Dracula, yeah, but it's very different. Same sets, same script, the whole thing, just Spanish version.
Wolfman.
Lon Chaney Jr. and the Wolfman.
And we got The Mummy with Boris Karloff.
I think his name appears a few times in these movies.
And we have Phantom of the Opera.
Which, hey, they don't credit a star. Which is weird. Moving on.
The Invisible Man with Claude Rains.
Yep. Gotta love a movie that's got the Invisible Man in it and all he does is wrapped in bandages.
And we have The Bride of Frankenstein.
With Boris Karloff.
Boris Karloff.
I actually like that one. It's a good sequel too.
Creature from the Black Lagoon. It's got Richard Carlson.
Okay, so Bride of Frankenstein obviously is no sequel to Creature from the Black Lagoon. Frankenstein must be the last one up here. I actually really like Creature from the Black Lagoon. And there it is.
Frankenstein.
With, once
Boris
again,
Karloff.
Boris Karloff.
And that was the last in shelf number 10.
Alright, I guess we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.